Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Salesforce AI Champions. Today we will be going to talk about query editor in Data Cloud. So welcome back to the Data Cloud series, and I am consistently uploading Data Cloud tutorials for you. So please do check it out my YouTube channel to find more tutorials on Data Cloud, and you will find all the playlist I have created in this channel. For example, you will find Data Cloud playlist in which we have covered like almost everything from basics to advanced level Data Cloud tutorials. You could find any other tutorials on Omni Studio. There are 100 plus tutorials on Omni Studio and Agentforce as well. Then Salesforce out of the box configurations, then Salesforce flows tutorial, more than 80 plus tutorials as well as Agentforce tutorials, right? So please do check it out my channel, and please do like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel. And if you like my content, please consider to take membership into my channel to support my channel, right? So let's get started. So today we'll be going to talk about query editor. So query editor in Data Cloud or Data 360 allows you to compose, execute, and troubleshoot standard Data 360 SQL queries directly against the data objects without needing an external API or tool, right? So one prerequisite is that you can just create few data streams for yourself. For example, unless what we need to query, like we need to query objects, data model objects, right? Data model objects, then we can query data lakes object. So what we just need to do, so I have in my org, I have lots of data stream objects available, and if in your case if there are no data streams available, you can just create a standard means you can just create data streams using some standard bundles, right? So on clicking on this button for the data stream, you could find these view bundles. Under the view bundles, or you can find individual objects as well. On clicking on this view object button, you could find, for example, if I just search for case, you could find the standard case object, then case article, case histories as well, right? So for the time being, you can just use the Salesforce out of the box bundle. For example, you can just simply use for example, you can use the sales bundle, right? So on clicking on the sales bundle, you could find all the details of the bundle. For example, this is a standard data bundle, so it is for managing leads, tracks progress, and automate sales processes with ease. And it contains these are the standard objects cover, like for example, account, user, opportunity, contact, role, opportunity, contact, lead, right? So on and finally you can just click on next, and you can just deploy these standard bundles into your org, right? So I have already created these data streams. That is why I am not going to redeploy them. But for your case, you can just deploy. You just need to deploy and wait for a couple of minutes to get those data streams activated, right? So in here in this tab, you can just select those standard fields as well as the custom fields by selecting a particular object from the left hand side. What are those objects available? From there you can just select those object and fields, right? So you can create new formula fields as well, and on clicking on next, you can just see the deploy button will be available, and you can just simply deploy. And this is how you can just create the data stream. So these many basic stuffs I have covered in my masterclass tutorial. That is a 1 hour session long tutorials. In this tutorial, I have talked about data stream, data lake object. Then we have talked about how to create Einstein models and how to use those models as an action is in the flow. That is a lot of good use cases we have covered in that masterclass tutorial. I'll be adding that masterclass tutorial link in this video description so you can understand the basics, right? So for the time being, you can just click on this deploy button to deploy these data streams, right? So I'm not going to do that. I'll just simply close. And after deploying the data streams, you will find the status, the last run status. Last run status is success. This needs to be success, and the data stream status should be activated, right, in order to query those records, right? So that is the prerequisite. And you could find, like for example, for the contact home data model object, that is like 107 records are there, right? So let's get started with the query editor, right? So we have talked about the prerequisite, and now query editor. Now So query editor, to get started and querying object records, right? So you need to create a new workspace. So workspace is nothing but queries are organized into unique workspaces, right? You can create multiple workspaces by clicking on this new button within the query editor tab, right? So on clicking on new, you could find a new pop-up for a new workspace, and you just provide the workspace name. For example, my first workspace, right? So, and you can just select the default data space if any other no data spaces available into your org. So workspaces, as I mentioned, queries are organized into unique workspaces, so you can save. So whenever we are writing the queries within the workspace, we can save the query, right? So you can save and categorize your data explorations, right? So I'll just click on save to create the workspace, right? So now we'll be landed into this kind of interface, and you will find in the left hand side all the available sources that we can query. For example, data model object, data lake object. Then we can query calculated insights as well, and if any data graphs available, you could also query them, right? So I'll just going to write simple query on a contact. For example, in here in the search, so this is the palette, right? And in here we can just run the query, and we could find different help resources. You could find, right, uh, data cloud or data cloud resources from here in the resources tab. And also you can just refer this module. For example, you can just refer this data exploration with data 360 SQL queries module to find all your how to query in within the data 360, right? I'll be adding this Trailhead link into this video description as well, right? So let me just write a simple query. For example, one placeholder query is already given. So this is different, this is different from the SOQL, that is object search language. This is SQL, right? So in here, so we can just simply, let me just remove this one, and in here let me just search for contact, right? Contact. So, and in here let me just, okay, or let me just search for individual. So individual, that is another object. So data model object individual, and we could find all the uh, fields available under this object. And in here we could find the primary keys as well. For example, this is the primary key, individual ID. We could find relationships. So for example, it is we could find entity attribute, to entity attribute. Then we could find cardinality, and we could find the relationship graphs as well. So this is connected with contact point phone object, contact point email object, then contact point address, then account contact, right? So, and in here you could find different types, right? Profile, engagement related, right? And in the data explorer you could just see these are the data explorer fields, means all the records available within the data model, in this data model object. Now I'll just click on this button, create query, right? So on clicking on this button, you could find this is getting populated, right? Select star, so it will retrieve all the fields, right? Retrieve for all the fields from this individual object. And you could find this this is appended with double underscore DLM. So DLM is nothing but data model object. Salesforce somehow it is written as DLM, but it is this should be DMO, a double underscore DMO. But for any some reason, Salesforce has provided DLM instead of DMO, right? So this is how we can just write the simple query, and limit 10 means only first 10 records will be retrieved, right? So if I just so we can highlight particular query as well. So if I just highlight this one, you could find like highlight run highlighted query, right? So now if I just unselect this one, you could find this run query, right? So if I just click on it, you could find all the fields is getting retrieved, right? Birth date, created date, then salutation, last name, first name, all the fields since I have just written it like that, right, using the asterisk, right. Now if we want to retrieve few particular fields, what we just need to do, for example, if I just for first name, so you can see ssot double underscore first name, right. So on clicking on this, we can find that double, it is under double quotes, and the first name field is being added. Now if we want to add another field, for example last name, we want to add last name. So now, sorry, last name, the second attribute. So this is how we could add the last name. Now we just want to add the birth date as well, and let me just add the email or any other fields, email. Okay, let me just add, let me check what are those fields available. To check what are those fields available, again you can just go back to this individual object, and in the field section you could find all the fields available within this individual object. For example, we want to query uh, photo URL. Let me just add photo URL. So let me just add photo URL. So this is how we could add fields, and we can just update accordingly our SQL. And let me just highlight this one and run highlight query. This is how we can just highlight, and we can find all the fields we have added within the SQL. It is getting shown, right, first name, last name, birth date, photo URL. So this is how we could add fields to be retrieved within the SQL in the Data Cloud query editor. Now so this is a simple, very simple example. So now how we can just save this query. So on click, we can see this save button, right. So on clicking on this save button, we could actually save the query to be later used, right. So we can just save and delete as well. There is a delete options available. Now if I just go back to the query editor and let me just open this one, we could be landed into the same tab, right. So we could just delete this one, we could just delete this one. So this is how we can retrieve different records from the data model object. So whenever, as I mentioned, like DLM is data model object, right. So let me just add another tab. On clicking on this add tab icon, we can just add another tab. And now let me just add data lake object. So in the data lake object, for example, so contact home is a data lake object. Now let me just click on this contact home, and let me just click on this create query, right. So you can find DLL is stands for data lake object, but for some reason this should be DLO, right, data lake object. But for some reason Salesforce has provided it as DLL instead of DLO, but this is DLL, means data lake object, that we just need to understand. So this is how we can just query data lake object fields as well. For example, if I just query fields, for example first name again, then we want to query last name, and we just want to query email fields, right. And if I just run the query, you could find this is how we can just retrieve all those records, right. So that's how it works. And for example we can query calculated insights available. If it is available, we will be going to discuss in later sessions what is calculated insights. And we can just query data graphs as well, right. So now if I just click on this data graph, for example account data graph test, and now if I just go to this particular data graph, and let me just go to the data explorer. So in here we could find all the records is being available under this data explorer tab within the data graph, right. And if I just click any of the record, we could find actually all the JSON view of the record, right. You could find all this JSON view, age, name, breed, color of the animal records, right. So this is how we could actually query our data graph records, rather than, so we have already discussed like how to query it from data explorer. but today we have learned about like how to query it from query editor, right? We can also query the data graphs from the query editor as well, right? And we could find actually the record view as well, right? So you could find all the views, all the details of the record, right, using the record view as well as the JSON view as well, right? So these are the few configurations we just need to know to work with the SQL. Let me just modify the first SQL, for example, that we are talking about this SQL on this data model object on individual data model object. Now, for example, if we want to get all the records, uh, the last name starting with the word, for example, S. Okay. So we want to retrieve all those individual object records whose last name starting with S. Now what we can do, for example, I'll just remove this limit, and what we can do, so from individual where, we just need to use where clause, and in here we'll be going to write the last name field, last name, and we can use the like operator as like SQL. Using the like operator we can actually find all those record, for example S, then percentage, and this should be within the single bracket, not the not single quotes, not the double quotes, right? So this is how we can just write like this, means to retrieve all those records, last name getting started with S, right? S percentage means any words after this S, right? So if I just run the query, you will find it will take some time, and it will find all the records getting started with S, right? And you can see there are 12 records. It is showing like duration of 1 minute, 1.3 seconds it took to retrieve all those records, and row processed like 107. There are total number of records is 107. And if I just click on the help text, we could find the represents the total number of rows processed to execute the query. So out of the 107 records, it will find it find like 12 records, row retrieve 12 records. And it is also saying optimizing the query could lead to reduction in processing and improved performance. We could optimize the query as well by adding more filters and all, right? So, and you could find all the records getting started with S only, right? So this is how we could just simply add this kind of filters to find as like we do in the SQL, right? So we could add inner join, outer join, lot of stuff. So we could add the order by clauses as well, right? To get the records. For example, if we want to get the records order by created date, so we want to get the records should be in descending order, then we can add the field created date, then order by created date, then DESC, right, descending order. This is how we could fetch the latest records, right? So those kind of stuffs we can do, we can actually do. So I'll be adding more tutorials on that as well. For the time being, I'm just closing the tutorial unless it will be very long. So that's all for today's demo. So we have talked about today like what is query editor, and how to create workspaces, and how to write query within the query editor. And we have seen like how to retrieve data model object records, how to retrieve data lake object records, how to see data graphs as well. In other sessions we will be going to see like how to create calculated insights, and then we'll be seeing how to get the calculated insight records in the query editor as well. So that's all for today's demo. If you like my content, please consider to take membership into my channel. That will motivate me to create more tutorials for you. So thanks for watching.